Surely, many of us are familiar with hydroponic farms. However, the farming activity below will surprise you because it is different from other hydroponic farms. Yes, before our eyes is a unique form of farming that has been taking place in rural areas of Bangladesh for decades. Farmers can grow vegetables and even sow seedlings on beds floating on the water's surface. Is this a bed made of soil? And why does it float like that? All will be in this video. Please join us to explore. Bangladesh is a country prone to floods and waterlogging, which inundate 2/3 of its land area every year, most of which is agricultural land. This can lead to food insecurity as agriculture is one of the largest contributors to Bangladesh's GDP. To cope with the climate challenges and ensure food security during the flood season, Bangladeshi farmers have come up with a unique method of growing crops based on a common plant, the water fern. Currently, there are more than 2,000 farming households in the south and southwest of Bangladesh developing agricultural economy from this model. To create floating beds, farmers use layers of plants such as water hyacinth, duckweed, or rice stalks to decompose, forming beds that float on the water surface. They are then mixed with mud and cow dung for the plants to grow. On these beds, farmers grow fruits and vegetables, and crops such as turmeric and ginger are also grown by farmers. At first glance, this farming method seems relatively simple, but in reality, it takes a lot of time and effort. Because farmers need to do all the work by themselves without any support from equipment or machinery. Farmers usually collect water hyacinth from wetlands, and the floating beds are built with 3 to 5 layers of water hyacinth, layer by layer, from bottom to top, until the desired height of the bed is reached. After 5 to 7 days, the old beds will become compact due to the decomposition of water hyacinth. After the beds are formed, farmers use layers of mature water hyacinth to form the foundation for the upper surface of the floating beds. The length of each bed is usually 15 to 20 meters, and the width is 1.3 to 1.8 meters, depending on the cultivation areas. After the floating beds are designed, farmers will proceed to plant. Depending on the variety of crops, farmers will directly sow seeds or prepare specialized pots to grow seedlings. Pots are made from decomposed water hyacinth to grow seeds of vegetables, tubers, and fruits. It is locally called tema or mada and is used as a growing environment for seedlings. After the tema develop into seedlings, they are planted on raised beds. During this process, farmers can also apply cow dung or urea fertilizer to help the plants grow best. After planting, farmers still need to continue daily care to ensure the best growth of the plants. If the floating beds dry out, they need to be watered daily to help them grow and develop. Weeds are also removed from the floating beds to limit pests and damage from birds or rats. When the crops reach optimal conditions, farmers harvest them. Crop products such as vegetables and spices are often consumed by farming households. In addition, they sell a large amount of surplus produce at local markets to earn extra money to cover their daily living expenses. Farmers who practice this method say they can earn an average profit of $140 per 100 meters squared of raised beds from crop production. Not only that, it also has many advantages such as low cost and reduced risk from natural disasters. Floating beds use locally available raw materials, so there is no need for expensive initial costs. In particular, water hyacinth is often classified as one of the worst invasive species, and its application in agricultural cultivation not only helps farmers stabilize their economy, but also ensures that the local ecosystem is maintained. Researchers also estimate that floating vegetable production is 10 times higher than growing vegetables on land on the same area. Because this method allows for better control of crops, it also limits some common diseases on crops. Farmers also use very little chemical fertilizers and pesticides, minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Most importantly, it contributes to food security in many disaster-prone states in Bangladesh. When large areas of agricultural land are flooded, this method of farming on floating beds has become the main source of food for people in the region. Perhaps in the future, many places in the world will strongly develop this model to increase crop yields and stabilize livelihoods for communities living in river areas. Did you know that garlic was once shunned by British and American cultures because its pungent smell lingered even after meals? However, by the late 1900s, the United States had emerged as the garlic capital of the world. About 24,000 acres of garlic were grown each year, yielding a total of about 400 million pounds. Large-scale factories and farms were once the pride of their country. So, what happened to the industry? Why did the million-dollar garlic factories close? Join me in today's video to find out the truth. The story of garlic in America begins in the early 1890s, when immigrants from Southern Europe arrived in California's Santa Clara Valley. With fertile soil and a mild climate, garlic quickly became a staple in vegetable gardens. However, it wasn't until early 1929 that commercial garlic cultivation really took off, and the largest garlic farms were born. The garlic industry has emerged as a national phenomenon, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for farmers. California is the largest producer of garlic in the United States, with 90% of the country's garlic grown and processed here. The smell of garlic wafts through the towns, so you can easily recognize this as a large-scale garlic processing area. In the United States, garlic is usually planted in the fall, in carefully plowed and prepared raised beds. The timing of planting is extremely important. Plant early enough so that the soil does not freeze before the root system develops, but late enough that they do not emerge from the ground. According to statistics, there are hundreds of varieties of garlic grown in the United States, but the most common on farms are California early and California late. The garlic cloves will be planted about 1.5 inches deep. On large-scale farms, garlic planting is mainly done with specialized transplanters, which optimizes time and effort. Garlic takes about 9 months to grow and is ready to harvest when 40 to 60% of the leaves turn yellow, usually around mid-July. On some farms, garlic can be harvested by hand, but modern farms today often use automated machinery for greater efficiency. From the field, garlic is cleaned and transported to the processing plant, where sorting and packaging take place. Typically, garlic is sold by the pound, by the vine, or by the bulb. However, dried garlic accounts for about 75% of garlic consumed in the United States, so dried garlic processing plants are becoming more popular. Modern high-capacity machinery ensures that garlic is supplied to both domestic and export markets. One of the largest and most famous garlic producers in the United States is Gilroy, California. It even holds an annual garlic festival to celebrate this valuable crop. And you may not know it, April 19th is that anniversary. While once the garlic capital of the world, the US garlic industry has lost that status. By 1990, Chinese garlic had flooded the US market with about 60 million pounds. This imported garlic was about 4 times cheaper than American garlic, which severely affected the industry. Although the US government raised tariffs to curb the impact of Chinese garlic, many garlic farms closed. Half of California's largest garlic packing plants have disappeared in the past decade. In just a few months, the amount of cheap garlic imported into the United States is nearly equal to the annual production of Christopher Ranch, the largest garlic packing plant in the country. In addition, a shortage of workers has caused garlic farms to shrink. Therefore, their only solution to this problem is to increase wages for workers. This also leads to increased labor costs, affecting profits and decisions to develop farms. All these factors have pushed large-scale garlic farms and factories in the United States into an unprecedented, difficult situation. The garlic industry in the United States is no longer as dominant as it once was, but in this situation, farmers still find a ray of hope. New directions have been implemented to increase profits, as the average American consumes 2.5 pounds of garlic per year. One of the most popular trends today is organic garlic production. With health awareness and changing consumption habits, consumers are increasingly paying attention to the quality and safety of products. Therefore, many farms are also applying organic garlic growing techniques to meet this demand. Therefore, there are special garlic products priced up to $1 per bulb. In addition, increasing modern machinery and equipment and reducing labor are also effective ways to increase productivity and limit costs. Farms are gradually focusing on product quality. It is predicted that garlic production in the United States will continue to increase in the coming years. This is a positive signal for garlic factories to recover and develop in the future. Do you think the U.S. garlic production and processing industry will regain its glory? Please share your opinion in the comments section. Have you ever enjoyed dishes made from roselle? This name seems very strange to many people, but in fact, it is commonly grown in many areas of the world, typically in China. Unlike many agricultural crops that harvest fruit, the calyx of the roselle has high commercial value, and it is an important ingredient in the soft drink and confectionery industries. So, today, let's explore roselle farms with us to learn how to grow and harvest this plant. Roselle is a major commercial crop in China, Sudan, and Thailand, and grows mainly in tropical and subtropical climates around the world. Annual production is about 20,000 tons, providing raw material for other processing plants. Roselle plants are usually planted from seeds around April to May in large areas with plenty of sunlight. Roselle seeds can be sown directly into fertilized holes. Because the plant grows quickly and has a large canopy, the plant should be planted about 2 meters apart to allow room for growth. Watering the plants in the early stages is very important to ensure good growth of the roselle. Once established, the roselle plant is drought tolerant and does not need to be watered frequently. In addition, during the care process, organic fertilizers or fertilizers rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium should be added to promote healthy growth of plants and flower calyxes. Regular weeding is needed to remove weeds in the roselle farm to ensure optimal growing conditions for the plants. Organic methods can be used to manage pests and diseases that reduce plant productivity. Roselle flowers reach maturity for harvest after about 6 to 8 months from planting. Harvesting must be done at the right time to ensure quality and economic benefits. If harvested too early, the underdeveloped sepals will produce small, low quantity and poor quality fruits. On the contrary, if harvested late, the plant will fall over, causing the sepals to mold and the color and quality will be reduced. Mature hibiscus calyxes have beautiful colors, thick flesh, and high yield. Farmers harvest the red fruit immediately after the petals have dried and fallen. On small-scale farms, harvesting is usually done by hand. On large-scale farms, mechanical harvesters can be used to speed up the process. After harvesting the roselle fruit, farmers need to quickly process it to harvest the fresh calyx. The red calyx needs to be quickly separated from the fruit to get only the calyx. There are many methods of processing roselle calyx. Farmers need to separate the calyx from the fruit by hand or by machine to get the red calyx only. The calyx can be processed by many different methods, but usually to prolong the storage time, the hibiscus calyx is dried in the sun or dried in a processing facility. Hibiscus farms can produce 1.5 to 2.5 tons of dried calyx per hectare per year. Roselle seeds are also used to extract oil or process into other ingredients. Today, growing roselle has become an industry that helps millions of farmers in China, India, and Africa improve their lives and stabilize their economies. This plant has become one of the most traded agricultural products in the world because it is easy to grow, easy to cultivate, and rich in nutrients. Dried roselle can be sold for $1,200 to $3,600 US per ton, sometimes even up to $4,000 US per ton. Hibiscus flowers are currently used in many fields as the main raw material in the food, pharmaceutical, and healthcare industries. According to research, red hibiscus calyxes are high in vitamin C. They have a pleasant sweet and sour taste, which goes well with salads, jams, syrups, fruit teas, and wines. They are often found in stores, preserved in syrup or liquid, as a garnish and flavoring additive for cocktails, white wine, or champagne. The seeds can be roasted and ground into a powder. The young leaves can be steamed or fried. They are also called red sorrel. In traditional Chinese medicine, hibiscus flowers are also used as medicine. It is cool, sour, and has the effect of reducing cough, often used to support lowering blood pressure. In addition, hibiscus flowers are rich in vitamin C and isoflavones, so they have good antioxidant effects, can help the body eliminate free radicals, thereby having a beautifying effect. Have you ever thought that something that was once considered waste could become a billion-dollar industry? It sounds unbelievable, right? But in reality, thousands of farmers have escaped poverty thanks to loofah, typically Chinese farmers. In the past, loofah was often used by farmers as organic fertilizer for crops, but now it has become a valuable export item. Today, let's explore how Chinese farmers get rich from loofah. Loofah farms are commonly grown in the southern provinces of China due to their suitable climate and temperature. However, large-scale farms are mainly concentrated in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Hunan provinces, covering tens of thousands of acres. The most typical is the cooperative in Guigang Town, Guangxi, which has more than 10,000 acres dedicated to growing loofah, with an annual output value of up to 130 million yuan, about $18 million. Farmers in the town said that growing loofah has helped them earn an additional income of up to 60,000 yuan, about $8,000 per year. In Guigang Town, a squash industry has even been established, making thousands of farmers in the town rich. So, how do Chinese farmers cultivate thousands of acres of squash? Loofah is grown from seeds. Farmers harvest loofah seeds from high-quality seedlings, then sow the seeds in specialized nursery trays to wait for them to germinate. After the loofah plants develop about 2 to 3 leaves, they will be moved to the farm for planting. Loofah plants can withstand heat, but cannot withstand waterlogging, so the planting area needs to be well drained. Although loofah can easily adapt and grow in different conditions, care is still necessary. After about 35 to 40 days of planting, loofah will produce fruit and farmers will harvest. However, to harvest loofah fiber, farmers need to harvest about 30 days later, so that the loofah fruit can develop further to form loofah fiber. Loofah is grown from seeds. Farmers harvest loofah seeds from high-quality seedlings, then sow the seeds in specialized nursery trays to wait for them to germinate. After the loofah plants develop about 2 to 3 leaves, they will be moved to the farm for planting. Loofah plants can withstand heat, but cannot withstand waterlogging, so the planting area needs to be well drained. Although loofah can easily adapt and grow in different conditions, care is still necessary. After about 35 to 40 days of planting, loofah will produce fruit and farmers will harvest. However, to harvest loofah fiber, farmers need to harvest about 30 days later, so that the loofah fruit can develop further to form loofah fiber. Farmers can also harvest young loofah fruits for cooking. In Chinese cuisine, loofah is consumed as a vegetable because of its mild flavor and high nutritional value, as it contains many vitamins and minerals. Mature loofahs are harvested when they turn brown or yellow, and although they are large, they are very light because they have lost their water content and the flesh has turned fibrous. After harvesting, they are dried completely, peeled, and the seeds removed, leaving behind a fibrous web-like substance that forms a natural sponge. In the past, loofahs were not very popular in people's lives because they were considered useless. However, Chinese farmers have now created loofahs into specialized products for daily life. Therefore, loofah processing facilities have been built to produce products such as shoe soles, bath brushes, etc. Some farmers are innovating with loofah by producing a variety of items, from loofah crafts to home goods like rugs, slippers, and even loofah fabrics. These products are sold in niche markets or through e-commerce platforms. Some companies are experimenting with loofah as an eco-friendly material for packaging fragile items or as insulation. Its fibrous structure provides cushioning, and its biodegradability fits in with sustainability goals. In the past, loofahs were not very popular in people's lives because they were considered useless. However, Chinese farmers have now created loofahs into specialized products for daily life. Therefore, loofah processing facilities have been built to produce products such as shoe soles, bath brushes, etc. Some farmers are innovating with loofah by producing a variety of items, from loofah crafts to home goods like rugs, slippers, and even loofah fabrics. These products are sold in niche markets or through e-commerce platforms. Some companies are experimenting with loofah as an eco-friendly material for packaging fragile items or as insulation. Its fibrous structure provides cushioning, and its biodegradability fits in with sustainability goals. The products not only serve domestic consumption needs, but also expand export markets. Chinese farmers are tapping into international markets, especially in areas where there is a high demand for natural, biodegradable products. Europe, the United States, and parts of Asia import loofah products from China, opening up a steady source of revenue for farmers. Every year, China exports millions of loofah products to the US and Europe, where they are very popular because they are natural products that are not only safe for users, but also sustainable and environmentally friendly. Farmers do not let any part of the loofah material go to waste. The remaining loofah fiber or discarded fiber can be composted to improve soil health, add organic matter, and help retain moisture. In some areas, loofah seeds and pulp are used as animal feed, especially livestock, to supplement nutrients in the diet of livestock, ensuring their comprehensive nutrition for growth. Farmers do not let any part of the loofah material go to waste. The remaining loofah fiber or discarded fiber can be composted to improve soil health, add organic matter, and help retain moisture. In some areas, loofah seeds and pulp are used as animal feed, especially livestock, to supplement nutrients in the diet of livestock, ensuring their comprehensive nutrition for growth. Did you know that Southeast Asian farmers have discovered a unique method of raising black chickens without spending a penny on feed? Sounds unbelievable, right? But this method has helped thousands of households improve their income and even escape poverty. What is their secret? And why is this chicken farming method so special? Let's find out in today's video. In Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam, black chickens with black skin, meat, and bones are increasingly popular. This breed of chicken has high nutritional content, is rich in nutrients, and is good for health. Thanks to these characteristics, black chickens are often priced twice or even 3 times higher than regular chicken breeds, providing a stable source of income for farmers. However, what makes black chickens the preferred choice of many households? Many people believe that black chicken meat has the ability to improve health, enhance immunity, and even support the treatment of some diseases. This has attracted the attention of many people. What is even more interesting is the way to raise black chickens without spending much on feed. The notable highlight of this black chicken farming model is the use of Azolla duckweed, a nutritious and easy-to-grow duckweed. Farmers can let the chickens roam free, let them forage in the fields, use agricultural byproducts, and garden pond models. So, what is special about Azolla duckweed? Azolla is not only a nutritious food source, but also helps improve water quality and reduce environmental pollution. This helps farmers reduce feed costs and maintain a sustainable farming environment. Growing Azolla is very simple. Farmers only need a small pond and some initial Azolla seedlings. The suitable environment for Azolla to grow is water with a depth of about 5 to 10 centimeters, a temperature of about 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, and exposure to light about 50 to 70%. Azolla has a strong reproductive ability, and its number can double every 3 to 5 days if raised in a suitable environment. Therefore, Azolla will grow quickly on the water surface and farmers can harvest it weekly to feed chickens. The technique of caring for Azolla is not too complicated, mainly maintaining the pH of the water between 4 and 5.5 and protecting the Azolla from fish or insects that may eat it. Most black chicken farms raise Azolla themselves in ponds or water tanks. Immediately after being scooped up, Azolla will be washed and mixed with a small amount of bran or corn flour to increase nutrients. Chickens love this food because it is cool, easy to digest, and rich in nutrients. Most of the feed provided to chickens is made from Azolla, so the cost of chicken feed can be significantly saved. Each day, farmers can feed each chicken 200 to 300 grams of Azolla, depending on the nutritional needs of the chicken. Adjusting the feed formula appropriately will help the chickens to be healthier and develop more stably. The method of feeding chickens with Azolla is really simple. Just mix the ingredients well and put it directly into the chicken's feeder. Commercial chickens need to be raised for about 70 days before being sold. Meanwhile, if you incubate chicken eggs and sell them, the price will be about $0.6 per chicken. Each large-scale farm can incubate 4,000 to 5,000 eggs per week. The black chicken farming model in Southeast Asia is not too large in scale, but the natural farming method still brings high profits to farmers. Usually, chickens will be raised in a cool, clean barn environment. Chickens raised with natural food such as duckweed are less susceptible to disease, have firmer meat and higher quality than industrial chickens. With a small scale, farming productivity as well as the ability to supply the market are also more limited. Although this model has many benefits, it is not without difficulties. Farmers will face risks from harsh weather and epidemics. However, they are still trying to improve techniques, share experiences with each other to overcome difficulties. These efforts not only help reduce costs, but also help improve farming skills and experience. These beautiful flowers are not only grown for decoration and beautification of space, but instead healthcare is what makes them valuable. After being harvested, the flowers will go through a sophisticated processing process, creating a delicious drink, rich in nutritional value, considered a miracle drug for healthcare. From tiny flowers to a $1 million industry, how did the Chinese do it? Let's find out in today's video. Chrysanthemum tea is not a new drink. It has been present in China for thousands of years and is extremely loved by the people. According to traditional medicine, chrysanthemum tea is considered a miracle drug, helping to relax the mind, anti-aging, and even keeping the eyes healthy. You can drink chrysanthemum tea anytime, anywhere, from bustling New Year parties to peaceful mornings in your favorite cup. so, how can these lovely chrysanthemums create an entire industry? To start your journey of making money from chrysanthemums, first plant a large field of chrysanthemums. And Chinese farmers are clearly not afraid to invest. You can find chrysanthemums everywhere in China, but the most famous chrysanthemum growing regions are Yunnan, Anhui, Sichuan, and Zhejiang. Chrysanthemums in each region will have a distinct flavor. Yunnan has strong-smelling chrysanthemums, while Sichuan brings a sweet, lingering flavor. With the traditional method, farmers will divide the seedlings in the fall, keep the healthy ones, and take care of them until the harvest season begins in November. Chrysanthemums do not like water, so they are often grown on raised beds for easy drainage and do not need too much watering. In addition to the traditional growing method, chrysanthemum growing regions have now invested in a modern direction to achieve higher productivity. They can grow chrysanthemums in greenhouses to ensure that the flowers grow well and are not affected by pests or diseases. In addition, they also apply breeding techniques to limit defective plants. The application of high technology in production helps ensure the quality of chrysanthemums, meeting market standards. After about 3 months of care, chrysanthemums will begin to bloom. The ideal time to harvest chrysanthemums is in early winter, after the first frost. Flowers that have bloomed about 85 to 90% will be suitable for harvesting tea. A secret that only chrysanthemum growers know is to only harvest chrysanthemums on sunny days. Flowers should only be harvested after 9 a.m. because at that time the dew on the flowers has evaporated. Harvesting flowers when everything is dry and handling them promptly will help the flowers not rot or change color. Each chrysanthemum tea producing region will have its own traditional processing method. Immediately after harvesting, the flowers need to be transferred to the processing factory to remove the branches and leaves, keeping only the flowers. Then, the flowers are washed with clean water and dried in a cool place. Don't think that just throwing the flowers around is enough. If stacked on top of each other, the flowers can get hot and spoiled. Only skilled workers know how to dry chrysanthemum flowers perfectly, both preserving the fragrance and preserving nutrients. The process of processing chrysanthemum flowers into tea seems very simple, but in fact, it is an art. Workers must measure the temperature and time accurately, otherwise the product will become a disaster. To preserve the natural aroma, chrysanthemums will be steamed in a steamer at a stable temperature for about 4 to 5 minutes. After steaming, chrysanthemums will be spread evenly on bamboo mats to dry under the sun for about 6 to 7 days. This is a labor-intensive process and requires patience from the workers. Today, to meet the increasing demand, chrysanthemum tea factories have applied low-temperature drying technology. This method helps to better preserve the color, flavor, and nutrients in chrysanthemums, bringing a perfect tea product with consistent quality. Not only popular in China, chrysanthemum tea has spread to the world and become a popular drink in many countries. Thanks to its outstanding health benefits and convenience, chrysanthemum tea has been packaged in many different forms, from tea bags to bottled tea, meeting the needs of modern consumers. Currently, chrysanthemum tea manufacturers are also experimenting with products combined with other herbs such as ginger, honey, or ginseng to create new flavors, both meeting the needs of enjoyment and bringing many health benefits. Chrysanthemum tea is known for its many health benefits, from reducing stress, improving sleep, supporting the digestive system, and beautifying the skin. In particular, chrysanthemum tea is also part of the global consumer trend, as consumers are increasingly interested in natural and healthy products. The herbal tea market is booming, with a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of over 5%. Chrysanthemum tea is not only consumed domestically, but also exported to international markets, including North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. The growing awareness of health has made chrysanthemum tea an ideal choice for global consumers. Do you think cacti are just houseplants or vegetation that grows on dry land? Yes, because they are actually drought-tolerant plants, which is great for those who are lazy about watering their plants. But wait! You are missing out on a really great use for this plant, which is as cow feed. It may sound strange, but cacti are actually one of the sustainable sources of food for cows, especially in areas with water shortages. Today, we will explore this interesting fact. Cactus. Just hearing the name makes us feel the thorns, right? Most of us know that cacti grow in extremely arid places. No one waters or cares for them, but they still live healthily like a warrior. They not only survive in harsh conditions, but also equip themselves with a thorny shell to protect themselves from all intrusions. Some species can even survive when the temperature reaches 40 degrees Celsius and still be awake. Growing cacti to feed cows? It sounds like a crazy idea, but it actually makes sense. If you are a smart farmer, you can grow cacti on land where no other plants can grow. It doesn't need much water. Poor soil? Cactus doesn't care. And cows will eat well, drink natural water without worrying about lack of food. So why not try it? Listen, you won't be a hard-working farmer when growing these cacti. In contrast to other plants that need fertile soil and lots of water, cacti are much easier. They can grow on poor soil, don't need much water, and importantly, become a useful food source for cows. The most popular cactus variety is Opuntia, because they are least thorny and most delicious. Growing cacti to feed cows? It sounds like a crazy idea, but it actually makes sense. If you are a smart farmer, you can grow cacti on land where no other plants can grow. It doesn't need much water. Poor soil? Cactus doesn't care. And cows will eat well, drink natural water without worrying about lack of food. So why not try it? Listen, you won't be a hard-working farmer when growing these cacti. In contrast to other plants that need fertile soil and lots of water, cacti are much easier. They can grow on poor soil, don't need much water, and importantly, become a useful food source for cows. The most popular cactus variety is Opuntia because they are least thorny and most delicious. The process of growing cacti is quite simple and does not require much investment. Simply take sections of cactus from a mature plant, at least 20 to 30 centimeters long, don't be too stingy. Bury them about 5 to 10 centimeters deep in the ground. Cactus plants root easily and thrive without much care. The only thing they need is loose, not waterlogged soil and a little water if it gets too dry. The cactus can be harvested after about 1 to 2 years, after which the plant will continue to grow for many more years. Unlike the harvesting process for other agricultural products, when harvesting cactus for cows, people will cut off large sections of the stem. But don't worry, the plant will grow back quickly from the base and they can harvest periodically. Therefore, the cows will be provided with a food source all year round. The process of growing cacti is quite simple and does not require much investment. Simply take sections of cactus from a mature plant, at least 20 to 30 centimeters long, don't be too stingy. Bury them about 5 to 10 centimeters deep in the ground. Cactus plants root easily and thrive without much care. The only thing they need is loose, not waterlogged soil and a little water if it gets too dry. The cactus can be harvested after about 1 to 2 years, after which the plant will continue to grow for many more years. Unlike the harvesting process for other agricultural products, when harvesting cactus for cows, people will cut off large sections of the stem. But don't worry, the plant will grow back quickly from the base and they can harvest periodically. Therefore, the cows will be provided with a food source all year round. In order for the cows to be able to enjoy the cactus safely, the farmer will have to handle it a bit. Usually, large-scale cattle farms will use incinerators to remove the dangerous sharp thorns, avoiding injury to the cows. Therefore, if you see burnt cacti on the farm, don't think that there is a cactus barbecue party going on. In addition, they can remove the thorns by cutting or peeling. However, cows are smarter than you think. They rarely eat cactus that still have thorns. After removing the thorns, the cactus can be chopped and fed directly to the cows. Some farmers also grind or chop the cactus and mix it with dry feed in the appropriate proportion. Although cactus is low in protein, only about 5%, it is a perfect choice when combined with nutritious feed. So, why is cactus a perfect choice for raising cattle? First of all, it saves on feed costs, especially during droughts when other feed sources become scarce. An interesting comparison is that cactus contains up to 75% of the energy of corn, but costs 20 times less to produce in harsh semi-arid environments. A recent study in Brazil showed that replacing corn silage with cactus increased the production efficiency of dairy cows without affecting milk quality. In particular, other foods need to be preserved in dry or fermented form, but cacti can be preserved all year round without spoiling, still retaining the necessary amount of water. In addition, this food is also a source of vitamin A and a large amount of non-fibrous carbohydrates, NFC, which helps increase energy for livestock.